Boom! Here we have a free plugin. This is UFX Reverb from UJAM, and this is a free plugin that is worth getting. This is a really amazing reverb. It's crazy that it's free. Make sure that you pick it up for free by October 31st, 2024. Of course, you will own it forever. You just have to get it by that date. All right, so let's go over the interface real quick here. So UFX Reverb is an algorithmic based reverb. It's not a convolution reverb, and it's basically like 10 reverbs in one. So under your mode here, you have your basic, rooms, halls, plates, springs, digital, 80s, warm, which sounds amazing by the way, gated, and reverse. You also have full presets up here, and it's also loaded with effects like your filters and finishers, which we'll get to here in a second. So let's play back here. We have a vocal.
I knew one day you would hate.
Right, so we'll just pull our mix in.
I knew one day you would hate me.
Under dimension, we have all the basic controls that you have with the reverb. So the time or the size of that, and then the pre-delay. Pre-delay just means how quickly do you want that reverb to come on after it hits basically some audio or transient, right?
Now my heart is cold and filled with regret.
So make it super big, make it really, ring out for a long period of time. Again, basic. I don't want to take too long for our basic controls here. Then we have our character. So again, basic controls like diffusion and damping. We'll check those out real quick.
You would use me, but love is
pull that mix way up just so you can really hear it. So for, say, our damping, if we want to damp down on that top end, we can pull that up. So let's just listen to this here. I'm going to pull the mix way up. So that damps it down, kind of like having, curtains or a blanket or carpet or whatever that just absorbs. So those higher end frequency reverberations, right? You can diffuse it, and then you have modulation, which just adds a little bit of movement. Okay, then we have a ducker, and it's really cool to have a ducker in here because what a ducker does is it pulls down the effect, in this case reverb, while the audio is playing. It doesn't eliminate it, it just pulls it down based on how much we use our ducker here. And then it can come back up whenever there is, the audio stops. So right here, maybe for example.
I just wanna be left alone. Just wanna be left alone.
So let's say I really want this. It's a little too long, a little too big. Try this.
Just wanna be left alone. Just wanna be left alone.
So say I want it to ring out, I want to be left alone, and I want to be able to hear that reverb tail here.
Left alone.
But my problem is it's way too much reverb, right?
I just wanna be left alone.
It's just like way too much while she's actually singing. So I'll pull our ducker in here. I'll do about 50% in this case here. Come back here.
I just wanna be left alone. Just wanna be left alone.
Right, and I still get that nice reverb tail because it comes back up. It ducks it out of the way here, and then it comes back up in these spaces here. So we also have a freeze. We'll get back to that in a second. Of course, you have your input and your output right there. Let's switch our modes here on these drums. We go to a hall. Pretty cool. Is it digital? Here's warm, which sounds amazing. Maybe not on these drums, but it sounds really good. Go to gated. Might be kind of cool for drums, right? Or reverse. Of course, I have it mixed way too high right now. But you get the idea. Tons of different types here. So being that it's drums, I could do a lot of different things. Maybe 80s. That actually sounds really good. Just right off the bat. Of course, I could damp it a bit. Not so big. A little shorter. There we go. Then we have filters over here. Several different types of filters. You can just click and choose from everything from a high cut down to width, down to inharmonic, saturate, amp, tube. Maybe go to amp, for example, here. Saturate it. We're just saturating that reverb. So we're really customizing the sound of our reverb, and then of course mix in the amount that you want with your mix right there. Really cool. And that might be a cool sound to add to something, right? A totally custom reverb sounds really cool to have that filter in there. I think this radio is really cool. put that on a synth or something like that. And then we have a finisher, which is, UJAM has their standalone finishers too. So a finisher is just like another kind of effect essentially. And we have basic, beyond, delay, glitch, and move. So maybe we'll just start with like something basic, like a chorus. Pull your amount up. You have chorus there. The amount, maybe you want more of a phaser. I'm exaggerating the mix, obviously, just so you can hear that. But that's pretty cool. Maybe I change the type to room here. Totally custom reverb sounds here. Maybe a delay. Glitches. No, that's pretty cool. Combine that with your filter, of course. And that's a reverb. I mean, it's just really cool. It's crazy that this is free, man. So I highly suggest everyone pick this one up. Okay, there's also a surprise and a small big knob, which basically means how big of a change do you want in your randomization. So I can click this down at 1% and we're getting basically no differences. I can make it big and then we'll get tons of differences. And I love this randomize feature here. You can really come up with some really cool stuff. Not that. Let's go back to maybe our vocal here.
When I fell, you didn't.
And we'll just randomize it.
Even try to pick me up. You thought I wouldn't leave. I feel it in my bones. Feel it in my bones.
Let's say that you like that for some reason, but you accidentally hit surprise me again. It also has this feature where you can go back to the previous one. So that's so cool because, oftentimes you'll start hitting this. You'll be like, oh, that's so cool. You accidentally hit the randomize again and now it's gone forever, right? But with this, you can go back, right, to your previous selection there, or even go forward. So that's pretty cool. All right, so now we'll move on to our freeze here. All right, so here I have a cello, I think. Sounds cool, right? Let's bring the reverb in. Just set something up, have it on warm, have that chorus on this for the finisher there. I mean, already that sounds amazing, right? But what I'll do is I'll freeze it. So now, even if I stop playback, I still have this ambience, basically an ambience, right? Just continuing on. So you can use, let me unfreeze that. You can use your freeze to, again, to create these atmospheres or ambiences from whatever source you happen to have them on. Maybe we'll try it on something like a piano here. All right. Maybe we'll go to warm there. Auto panner. Let's change this up. Maybe chop chop. Maybe put a filter on there too. Some sort of a tube, maybe. All right, then we'll freeze that. And dial in the amount that we want. Or, now we've completely replaced the piano with just our sort of background sound, you know? So freeze function, ducking function, finisher function, filter, obviously your basic dimensions and character there, and then different modes to choose from. Of course, you also have full on presets here. Maybe I'll just go to piano plate, just on that there. That's a cool one. I could maybe do a smaller change and surprise me on that. Got a notch filter there. Maybe bring the finisher in. Look at that. I gotta say, this thing is really fun to play with. On basically any kind of, you know, different source. Drums, vocals, really whatever you want. It seems to work pretty well on pretty much anything, really. Maybe I'll just try a couple of these drum presets, and I'll show you where to get it. It's a cool one. From Stadium, here's a ducked groover, 80s enhancer. Larger, more time, pull the ducker down, put maybe lo-fi on that. That's cool. Drama swell on the finisher. Sort of a cool addition, I guess. We're getting all these really cool textures all within this single plugin. There's drones, right? Totally change up the mood of those drums, you know? Now they sound dark. I could freeze that, you know? That is cool. So I guess you could even really use this for, you know, sound design and creating different sounds and stuff like that. All right, but anyway, I could play with this thing all day long. It's so cool. But if you want to get it for yourself, head right over here to ujam.com. Of course, I'll have a link in the description below. Scroll down. This is, as they say here, all the reverb you'll ever need. Scroll all the way down. Right here, you'll see it is free. So check out for free. You'll get it for free again as long as you pick it up by October 31st, 2024. And I highly suggest that you pick this one up. It is really cool. It's really fun to play with, and it sounds really good. It also has tons of different controls that are really easy to use, really easy to figure out. Again, this is a free plugin that you definitely should pick up. Like I said, it's so much fun to play with. This is one of those plugins you can play with for 20, 30 minutes, an hour, right? Just keep coming up with totally different sounds, especially using these filters and these finishers.
But love is so confusing. When I fell, you didn't even try to pick me up. You thought I wouldn't leave. That's
cool. Yeah, now I'm just playing with it again here. I'm trying to end the video, and I can't even end the video because it's so cool.
How could you be so naive?
Big crusher on that.
You chased your heart, ignored the signs.
Again, like I said, it's just fun to play with this, to see what you can kind of just come up with, and also just hitting that randomize button.
It's painted above. I just wanna be left alone. Just wanna be left alone.
All right, but anyway, link in the description below. Head over there and pick up your free UJAM UFX Reverb right now.